What's going on, rascals? We got something exceptional. We got something hot. Welcome back to the Staincast. We got a couple of guests with us today. Mr. Stephen Hagg, myself, and to give a warm welcome to Mr. Chetala in uniform, and Pooh Shiesty,
What's going on?
the kid.
The kid's here. What's going on, people?
Thank you for pulling up, boys. Appreciate it. This is a big one. If you guys didn't see the title of this video, Black Panther, MCU Staincast episode 30s. I was gonna say 39.
Yes, sir.
Fuck, hold on.
I think it's...
Get your numbers straight. Get your numbers straight, boys.
What's
It's
your
been a minute
tone?
to hit the MCU, all right?
39. 39. I was right. No. It's 40.
Like,
It's
get
40.
your house in
Ah.
order, man.
I was right.
Fuck you, all of you. I did.
All right. So episode 40 of the MCU Staincast.
What's going on,
We
everyone?
have Wakanda Forever, the end of Phase 4.
Thank God. Thank God. Shit mid.
Yeah.
Shit mid.
Phase 4 in general has been mid, but before we do get into that, Last of Us episode 4 came out this Sunday.
Mid.
He capped.
Fuck you.
He capped.
Yeah, he capped it.
I mean, after what we got last week,
It was slower. That's right.
Like,
Yeah, it was slower, but it was definitely a good episode.
last week was like some
First
cheap
rep.
television.
Yeah, but here's all right. First two were really good. Number 3 is Oscar bait. Number 4 is all right.
Man.
That's my stance on it.
All right.
I can't
agree with
necessarily
that.
disagree. Yeah.
I can disagree, but I can
So-
respect it.
Yeah, so
was good.
I mean, it's not bad. Look, it ain't fucking bad. I'm just saying it comparatively to the last, like even 3. 3 had some good parts to it too.
I
But
think 3 story
I mean-
was amazing.
You think what?
I thought episode 3, the story for that was
Three
amazing.
stories, man.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. That was a great dynamic. But
That's really tough.
Nick Offerman did
episode
his
4
thing.
was good. There were
Yeah.
episode 4. I feel like had a decent amount of moments that were ripped like literally straight from the game.
yeah, they were back to it in this episode.
Yeah, like there were a lot of them where I was like, oh, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But then they added a new character. Because I think this.
Or Catherine or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
she's
it's just for the TV show.
completely new for this show.
which I mean,
I'm not mad at.
we didn't see much of it, but I'm not mad at them introducing a new character.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
it just
Yeah, see
fleshes
what
out
they
the
actually do
fleshes out the
there.
story more too.
Exactly, they're doing more of what they can with like with more story that you can't really put into a video game like that, where you're playing as one
Yeah.
character.
and we got another episode this Friday too because of the big game.
Yeah, they don't want to
yes,
interrupt
yes.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
understandably so. No one
Yeah,
would
'cause,
watch
like,
it.
it's literally going
who's
to be
watching
airing.
that?
It's literally going to be airing right in the middle of the game.
Halftime. It would be right around halftime.
Yeah. So that's looking stupid slow.
Yeah, so I mean, very much going to take an episode early. I mean,
hmm
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's a banger. Because was 4 the halfway point, or there 10?
I think there's 10
There's 10,
Yeah.
so 5 is the halfway point. I think this episode might be pretty
because they're
meaty then.
doing one episode for like the whole Left Behind DLC story with like Riley and fucking Ellie. They're doing a whole
And Ellie,
episode
yeah.
for that, so there has to be like 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think episode 7 we were talking about is that in the
Or
group
episode
chat.
8. I forgot which one it was. It's one of
Yeah,
those.
it might have been
It's one of
8.
the
it's
later
later.
It
episodes.
might have been 8.
But I guess besides that, pretty much The Last of Us is still doing great.
Yeah.
Shit tough. Finally,
That's
some
good.
good like video game adaptations after fucking
Yeah, thank
years.
God.
After years of wanting that shit.
Thank
For
God.
like,
Yeah,
for
everything's
like,
either
for like
shit or
independent, for everything that's not DC, HBO is hitting the spot for everything that ain't DC.
Yeah.
That's true. HBO has some hard hitting shows.
Even Watchmen wasn't bad, and that's technically DC now. That wasn't bad.
The show.
Yeah, Watchmen, the show wasn't bad.
I still haven't
Oh,
watched
there's
it
a
yet.
Watchmen show.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I've seen the movie.
I just
Movie
didn't
on
like
it.
the way Dr. Manhattan was looking. Like
Yeah.
his paint or CGI was just looking kind of mid to me.
Yeah, and his cock wasn't out, which I didn't appreciate.
That was
They
mandatory.
fucking.
That's the classic
Zack
Dr.
Snyder
Manhattan.
had to set the tone.
Yeah, needed that though. Comic accurate.
Not saying.
But I guess then we can just move right into Wakanda Forever, the bookend of Phase 4. I mean, technically that was the Guardians Holiday Special, but the bookend of Phase 4, Wakanda Forever, something that they needed to like this. We were talking about this for months leading up to
Needed
it.
to
That
get
this
this
movie
right.
needed. Yeah, they needed to get this right for Chadwick. They needed to get this right just for Phase 4 and for any hope that we had left in the MCU to actually continue to give us good
Shit
projects
was
after
looking
what
slow.
the stuff we were getting
Yeah.
for it.
looking slow.
And I think it's safe to say that they actually they pulled through on all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took care of business, that's for sure.
Yeah, for the most part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the story was great. It was like I don't want one of the this was one of the things I wanted to bring up earlier. We were talking about this when we all first saw it. I remember me and Smoke were having a conversation. We have a conversation in the group chat about it. Would this movie still hit the same 2-3 months down the line or in the future when we're rewatching it? And after rewatching it last night, I can safely say that it does.
Yeah,
like
I would say it does.
I don't think emotionally it doesn't for me, but story-wise, it's not bad, yeah. Like, emotionally,
Yeah.
it's not...
Agreed. I think that still that moment of silence during the MCU logo where it's going through the Chadwick thing. I think that was perfect. Like, it's the best way they could have opened it. But just starting off with Shuri's prayers to Boss, right before she gets to that, just throws you right into the movie.
Yeah, that was definitely cool. Definitely different compared to the other Marvel shows, which take forever to get their footing. But now, you have this movie that's literally jumping straight from the go, coming out hot.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
But I guess go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think for me emotionally, I think if you're an MCU fan and you plan on continuing to watch Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 down in the future, and then you watch this movie, I think emotionally it's still gonna hit because you now realize that, oh shit, T'Challa's gone.
That's true.
Watching that movie, and if you're still an MCU fan, you're like, damn. Fuck. I feel it still hit for me when I was watching it earlier today. I was like, wow. We actually, this man's actually not in the fucking MCU no more. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what, watching this movie is the biggest, I guess, shock to it, because this is the first one where we're really oh, shit.
Yeah, they're actually discussing, talking about it, discussing it.
Yeah, how he died. I think also the way that they handled how he died is perfect.
Yeah.
Because
I liked it.
I would have been
the Black Panther get smoked off screen.
Yeah, that would
exactly.
That would
cut
be foul.
villain.
Namor smoked him or something, or the U.S. government smoked him.
Yeah,
that would be nasty.
So I'm glad they just went with just a basic he had an illness. I'm also thankful that they didn't just say what illness it was.
That would have been OD. That would have been unnecessary.
Them just saying he died from an illness was perfect. That's all. That's all we needed.
We really don't need to know.
Exactly. It even worked with the story of the previous movie with Killmonger burning the heart-shaped herb, which we'll talk about as we get into more of our favorite scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel that sets there's some consequences for that actually happening now. I do like that more now. Yeah.
But I guess then we'll just move into our favorite and least favorite characters. I'm just going to go in order of how it is on my screen. DL, would you like to do your favorite and least favorite characters?
Yeah. So, I would say probably my favorite is... it's somewhere Shuri's in the conversation along with, what's her name, Ramona?
Yeah.
The queen.
Well, she won an Oscar, so...
Yeah, she's nominated right now.
Nominated.
She won a Golden Globe.
Golden.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up between those two just because they kind of, serve different purposes in terms of, the story where, Shuri's, the next, and then she's, the previous, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I really couldn't put one over the other in that sense. I'd give it to Shuri just because I think she does, her act. I think, the role she had to fill was, almost, impossible. And she still managed to do it, very, very well.
Yeah, that shit was monumental, though. To fill those shoes with T'Challa and, Chadwick Boseman, that was crazy. And I feel she did it spot on for what she had to fucking work with.
Not saying the Queen didn't have, especially that one scene where she's talking about, we can go to, when we get to quotes we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. Even when she's, just chatting to, all the elders and, her talking about how she got no one left. Kind of, it's just so powerful. I think Ramona probably has more powerful, acting and speeches and stuff, but, Shuri's just more relatable. That's for sure. And
especially with Shuri, I know one thing we were talking about is, she would need a huge arc before becoming the Black Panther, and they pulled through with that. They gave her such a concrete, very solid arc. Where you related with how she felt, especially when she did finally recreate the herb, and she realized that it would have cured T'Challa.
Yeah, that scene hit hard when she finally fucking recreated that. That actually was, I was like damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the easiest thing I'm gonna answer all day, fucking least favorite character, that's Suit CAA Opera. I don't even know his name. Ross. He is Suit. He's a scrub. Yeah. He got no resolve.
Apparently, he was married to Val, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on
I don't know why they just
tossed that in to that movie, really.
No,
Like,
he
they
didn't
think-
do anything.
I feel like their new page, like a bookmark in the MCU is just Val being in the movie or show. It's like, oh yeah, don't worry guys, Val's in it, so it's connected.
I was that's what
Yeah,
connects it.
well-
Like just her.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's-
think,
it's
I think
stupid.
a lot of Val's stories are going to start to tie together once Thunderbolts come out. We'll understand why she's in these projects. But right now, yeah, it's kind of like the Nick Fury just placing it in, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense right
Fucking
now.
dumb.
But at least Nick Fury, we saw him in action or something. Like, she is just like all we hear about is like what she's done or like all this stuff about her. But it's like, I don't know. I need more.
They're setting up,
Like,
but they're
obviously-
not showing us anything. Like they're trying to set up without
Yeah.
the show. Like
It's like that one scene in not Civil War, in Winter Soldier, where Nick Fury's in the car, and that scene is so tough when all the boys start pulling up on him, and like, why don't we get a scene like that? Like scene wasn't even that long. Like, obviously you have to build up the circumstances and stuff, but I mean, Val's just been lurking around too long.
we've had a whole
To be
whole
fair-
phase like of her just lurking.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but to be fair, with that, Nick Fury had nothing. Like, he just had talking scenes in Avengers, or in the first phase, besides him shooting a rocket in Avengers 1. So
But
maybe
that
we'll
whole
get that
setup scene
eventually.
alone. But like, what scene was it? Iron Man 1, like the post credit scene, like when he goes.
Oh,
to
the whole-
Tony,
yeah, well,
that
yeah,
set up the
obviously, yeah.
Avengers. Like just that one scene alone has done more than Val has done like in her fucking 3
True.
appearances. I
Very,
feel like
very true.
that's my
very true.
problem with it.
her character's also like at the current point, she's just written to be like fucking mustache twirling villain. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens with her in the future. But Chet, if you want, you're next
Yeah.
for least favorite, and least favorite.
I'm gonna start with the least favorite. Least favorite, I'll probably give it to. I mean, I guess I'd have to give it to Ross too, just because I don't have a problem with anyone else except
so-
him. Just because he doesn't do anything. He just gets a kimono bee and talks to the queen sometimes, and then that's it.
Yeah, he's just chatting.
That's true.
And then Val's like, "You're under arrest." 'Cause
They
he's
could have
the
done
kimono bee or
everything
some
without
bullshit
him.
like that.
yeah,
Literally.
like I don't even know why he's in this movie, but yeah, he's Seuss.
He had to
And
connect the dots.
for
and make this
favorite character, I'm gonna give it to a Cuckoo Khan. Namor.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm fucking throwing it.
Namor
Yeah,
is
bro.
so
It's
cold
awesome.
in this
Yeah.
movie, bro.
Yeah, whatever. I'll toss that in as another one of my honorable mentions.
Like,
but yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm
with you.
happy when they add tough villains to the MCU that they don't kill
Mhm.
off. Like,
And they
And
don't
he
finally.
kill.
did stay alive at the end.
Mhm.
He stayed
Needed
alive
that.
at the end,
Yeah.
so we can
Thank
see
Big
God.
him
time
again.
needed that.
I mean,
And that
he's
fight
definitely
scene
going to have.
between him and Shuri.
Yeah, that was a
She
nice
was so
fight scene.
gruesome.
Yeah, that was raw.
That was
I
nice.
fucked that.
I'm sure he's going to have a bigger role as things come on, and I'm very excited
Absolutely.
for that.
Yeah,
I need
Secret
more of him.
Wars for sure.
Need that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Xander, if you want to go next before I finish this off.
So least favorite gotta be Val. She's just useless. Like you're just adding more screen time to the movie that doesn't need to be there. Just to have her there is to say it's all connected. It's just pointless.
Mhm.
Her character is just pointless. I mean Ross, I get Ross. He was in the first movie. They gotta add him back. You know, say what's going on with a white character in the movie, but pointless. Also useless. But it would have
My
to be
favorite
Val.
colonizer.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason why they brought him back to make that joke. My favorite colonizer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have to be Val though. But favorite character, I'd probably give it to Shuri or Namor. Even
Yeah.
Ramonda though, like all three of those characters,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to choose one because they all do their roles perfectly. Like Ramonda,
Yeah.
her quotes are some of the best in the movie. Shuri's like emotional, like just the stakes for her, are, like just at the highest it's
Mm.
ever been for the MCU, like emotionally. But Namor too. Namor's just a good antagonist. He's like the opposite of everything they're going on. But that's what I have to say about those three characters. Shit tough.
I mean, for me, not to beat a dead horse into the ground, my favorite is going to be either Namor or Shuri, with least favorite being Ross or Val. For pretty much exactly the same reasons you all said.
They're just useless.
But I do have to give an honorable mention to M'Baku, because M'Baku just brings
yeah.
just another
He's
just
that man.
it's just another aspect to the movie.
He had some humor.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good. There's a lot of at the very least interesting characters in this movie.
Yes,
if they're not
that's
like
true.
at least like really good characters.
Literally
Very true.
everyone but the Wakandans and Namor I didn't care for.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
just, like all those people outside those groups, I just
Yeah, they're just wasting
Yes, so-
time.
Yeah.
just added
Yeah,
to that
and
2.5
the
hour
weirdest thing is
runtime.
I didn't notice it until I watched it again because I didn't play God of War. But that guy from the U.S. is Odin is Odin's voice actor from God of War Ragnarok. I had to hear. I heard it again.
Oh, I didn't realize. Which US guy?
The guy from the UN meeting.
Oh, that
The
guy.
the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Odin's voice actor.
Oh, that's tough.
From God of War Ragnarok. I did just a little side note that I tossed in my notes just because I heard him. Because I wasn't looking at my computer and I was like, oh shit, what's up? What's happening?
God of War tough.
I guess speaking of that UN meeting, we can just go into make or break moments of the movie.
Yeah.
That's a
'Cause there's
fucking good
definitely
ass scene.
Yeah, like opening with the like we were talking about earlier, the rush of just Shuri going into trying to save Chadwick to the moment of silence, and then opening with that, like with just such a strong presence from both Ramona and the Dora Milaje was perfect. Again, it just really put you and got you into and interested into the movie.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite opening scenes in an MCU movie.
Yeah, that should be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, she's right though. Like they're all thinking like the king is dead, the Black Panther is dead. They have no protector, so let's strike them while they're down.
In the shadows.
Yeah. But little do they know, they have a lot more than that.
Yeah, they don't even need the Black Panther to take on the rest of the world.
No.
Yeah, the rest of the world's soft. Like, if you have vibranium, it's not even a contest.
But Ultron had a fucking piece of that shit, and he was gonna destroy the whole world with it. It's crazy.
Yeah. The Dora Milaje pulling up through that doorway. That shit was when the mercenaries pulled up at that place, tried to steal the vibranium.
In shadows.
They thought they had that shit on.
And the soundtrack tough too.
Yeah, the soundtrack of this entire movie is really good. Like, it's super like diverse in terms of like the spectrum of like in just the situation that's being put over. Like almost every time I notice it, like it's just like, wow, this is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially the way that they continue to use
to it initially. Oh, what I was saying is I didn't really care for it when I heard it initially, but when I actually heard it in the movie, I was fucking with it, like how it applied to different scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was as I was saying, the
synthetic herb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some really good music throughout that shit.
Yeah, and the way that they use like the African tones continued from the first movie, and then they also throw in the Hispanic stuff because of Namor and the Mayans. They just use it very, very well, and I'm glad that they continue to do it. Plus, Limoncello, a tough ass song.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple scenes that I like too. I mean, Shuri just meeting Namor for the first time, like when he pulls up out of the water. That whole, I mean, anytime Namor and Shuri are on screen together, I think it's fucking amazing. Like, I have a whole bunch of my favorite scenes are just them chatting, just because I think they're both such great characters. Where I think it was Cheddar Xander said, it was like they're kind of like, they're pretty similar. They're pretty much the opposite of each other in terms of like Namor just wants to burn everything down. I mean, like Shuri, like at the beginning of the movie, she's more like Namor, but she actually handles her grief compared to him, who just wants to see everyone get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
another Joanna. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say what you were touching on earlier. They're opposites because like they both want to protect their people, but they're going about it in completely different ways. Like this man's literally ready to smoke anyone at any given chance, and Shuri's trying to protect what's her name?
Yeah,
fucking Riri.
She's at least trying to have some like peace talks beforehand. Well, he's just like he's been looking for an excuse to attack the surface world for a minute. Like that was just. Like that vibranium mining rig probably wasn't even near him. Like he was just like he just needed that.
He was itching for that. Like that shit probably not even real.
Yeah.
He just knew something.
I mean, another thing I love is
he does.
Another thing I think is tough is M'Baku chatting with the fucking. Oh shit, my bad, Hag.
He brings up a good point with saying it's like once they know that the vibranium exists, they're just going to keep coming after him. Like nothing's going to stop them until
that is true. Yeah.
He still wanted to smoke, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course he did.
Any excuse.
Then another scene that I had that it was more just comical over that is fucking M'Baku chatting with his meat stick.
Yeah.
So hideous in the beginning of the movie when he's got his fucking Slim Jim or whatever the hell it is, and he's just fucking. I mean, like he actually was fucking spent when he's talking about what was stopping him from coming back, but.
Oh yeah, it was like some carrots. Yeah.
It looks like a fucking meat stick to me, but
It looked like he
whatever.
was
I
snapping
know a
into
meat
a
stick
Slim
when I
Jim,
see
bro.
one. Yeah, that's
Why
facts.
don't we
Exactly.
Big facts.
find the fish man and kill him? Just like fucking snaps into it.
And then he's
Fish
spitting
man.
again later in the movie when he realizes they think of him as a god. If you kill them, it's eternal
Yeah.
war.
That is true. Yeah. There's no
he's-
there's no
God.
peaceful
He's spitting the whole
resolution to
movie.
that situation.
Yeah, he's spitting the whole movie.
It's like how
Yeah,
it always
M'Baku.
is in the
I'm so-
comics with fucking Wakanda and Atlantis, is it called in the comics? But they're always beefing because there's always gonna be fucking a problem when they're that close to each other.
And they, especially now that they both have vibranium.
Yeah, which I don't think he has in the comics. Which I do like the addition. It makes Namor more of a threat now in the MCU to them.
Absolutely, and he's definitely going to be one. I'm assuming, hopefully, with the Fantastic Four, because he's got a great dynamic with Reed and Sue.
Mm-hmm. And be trying to take his bitch the whole
Need
time.
that. Another scene I like is the what was it? Fuck, I had it written down, but then I didn't. Namor hitting M'Baku, like that slow motion shot of like when he first pulls up, like M'Baku like jumps at him, and he breaks the spear over his back.
Oh
And he
yeah.
just turns around and fucking hits him right in the chest.
Yeah, he
That's a
smoked
fucking
him.
good looking shot.
I don't know how M'Baku survived that shit. He
Nah,
got
bro,
sent
he's
flying.
fucking. He's literally wearing like wood. He's yeah, but like that shit looked like wood armor, bro. Like obviously it probably was vibranium,
there's
but like it
probably
looked like
and
wood
vibranium
armor.
underneath it. He probably had
Mhm.
vibranium underneath, like
Regardless-
the wood armor that he had.
Regardless, he got fucking
He
smoked.
got sent
Oh, yeah,
flying.
he got fucking
Yeah.
sandbagged. And then he stands up and he's like, oh. He's like, oh fuck.
That entire invasion of Wakanda scene is fucking tough, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a really good
Like you
scene.
just
Like
got
I love
these
Namor's
water
fighting style, how they show it.
explosions.
Yeah.
that shit's
Yeah.
op, bro. Those fucking water grenades are ridiculous.
I
They
loved every
literally
time
like
those things
almost
were
tipped
used
the
in this
boat
movie.
over.
Because there's just like an explosion of pressure. It's fucking ridiculous.
He threw like
It's like the
fucking
grenade
three
is
of those
actually
at Ramonda.
exploding. Then
Mm-hmm. Need her
He's a
dead.
dirtbag for that.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's scumbag. He didn't need three of them. He just needed her dead.
I mean, him just standing over and just being like fucking says that you're queen now, and he just
Yeah,
fucking
the-
points like that
Barry,
shit
you're
cold.
He
dead.
was like
Warn
standing
your
there to make
boss.
sure she was dead. I
Cold.
feel like that's
He was
crazy.
standing
He had to
Make
make
sure
sure
Shuri
he had to
saw
be
it.
there to watch her go cold.
Yeah, he was like hovering there.
Yeah.
Like he could have left, but he was making sure like Ramonda's dead. Like he was like, nah.
He literally saw her drag like Riri out the water and then just watch her die.
Yeah, that's OD.
That's fucking
So
wild.
ridiculous.
Namor was tough. He was a tough villain.
OD. Needed that off them.
That's why I have more
But this-
faith that Kang will be tough because like the villains
I
recently
agree.
have been good actually.
I agree. But I will
But
say
the
this
villains
movie
recently,
is
you mean the last like
That's
one
pretty
movie?
solid.
What I was gonna say, Loki had a good villain. No Way Home had some good villains. If they did the God Butcher
When
right,
Wu-
like I mean Christian Bale, like fucking obviously, but they wasted that.
When he was on screen,
When
he
he was a
killed
good
them,
villain.
but they violated him.
I thought Wanda was a good villain in the Multiverse of Madness, but that's not supposed to be her movie. Like she was a fantastic
Yeah.
villain. Like she was literally just fucking just haunting
A
that
menace,
man the
yeah.
whole movie. Like you're just chasing him down his whole movie. Like that's not how the hero should be working his whole movie.
Yeah,
Like, that's why I thought she was a
Yeah, I
good
agree.
villain. But yeah, Phase 4
Yeah.
decent villains. Some of them are just shit though. Wen Wu,
We'll get to that.
That's what I'm saying. Wen Wu
We'll get
tough
to that
too.
at the end.
Yeah, Phase 4 has some good villains.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
No.
more as we get into the Phase 4 discussion at the end. But this, like I was going to say before, this movie does not. It does have its faults, like we were talking about before. Most of the scenes with Ross and Val mean practically nothing. But the biggest thing
Useless.
for me is them exploring Talokan. It was great for the world building. I liked the lore behind it. I liked learning about it. It was a little too much, though. It was a little just too long.
Like that scene was too long. I feel like.
Yeah,
They, like,
it's
played
like
that
I
whole song.
enjoyed.
I just
I-
feel like the entire movie is too long. Like I don't even know if I could break it down to
Yeah.
one scene.
Yeah.
I feel like that the entire movie itself is too long. So like if you just cut 5 minutes from like every scene. I mean not every scene, but like every scene. There was a lot of scenes where like if you just subtracted like 5 minutes off each of these, all of a sudden you're working with like a 2 hours and 15-minute movie or something.
If you cut out anything to do with Ross and Val, the movie would be immediately 30 minutes shorter.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just wasted too much
But-
time just hovering around his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, like I said, it's still fun and enjoyable to learn about Talokan and their lore and everything that comes behind it. It's just they spent a little too much time doing it.
Talokan looked
Mhm.
crazy though. I like the visuals on that. I like
Yeah.
how vibrant
That's true.
everything
Yeah, that
was.
looked really good.
The vibe was tough.
That shit, man. That shit, mad nice. Especially like the little like fake sun that he had down there. Like that shit looked.
Mhm,
They
that
came
was
a
so
long way.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
That man nice with it.
Thank God that most of these underwater scenes were done underwater too. Obviously not the ones of them talking, but like Namor coming down like right before the attack on Wakanda, like that. Thank God that was actually done underwater and not CGI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that CGI could look hideous.
Yeah.
it
Oh my
probably
god.
would.
Yeah.
But I guess we can move into.
But that's really yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize you were doing it.
Yeah. No, it's all good. You can continue.
I guess we can move into quotes, which there actually are quite a
There
few
it
in this
is.
movie.
Yeah. I have a few. I got a couple of them's.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah, I
So-
got something off the top of my head.
yeah.
All right. So we can just do. Chat. You can go first, then Xander, then me, then Hag. That sounds like a plan.
Wonderful.
Alright, well, you said it early. You said a little bit of it earlier, DL, but when Namor like pulls up, when Shuri sees Namor after what he did to the Queen, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"Bury your dead, mourn your losses, you're queen
Mhm.
now."
Yeah,
was
you are
cold.
clean now. That shit is tough.
That shit is so hard, bro.
Yeah, I'll be-
Word,
Oh, let me look at my
it's
quotes.
so cold, man. And then
Namor's just
another
a
one I
bad man,
like.
bro. His script, like his character, is just writ so fucking well.
Mhm.
I know.
That's very true.
They did
Great
a good
villain.
job with Namor. Let's see. Another quote that I got was from M'Baku when they're talking about invading, like I think they're, like fighting Talokan or whatever, and he's talking about how there's a serpent god, and he's like, just because we live in the mountains, do you think he don't have access to books or something like that? That was
Yeah.
weak.
Yeah, I think that's what he says. M'Baku.
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 Like, how ridiculous is that they fucking settled the Black Panther through a fucking arm wrestle?
This shit kind of was man.
It's
I
just-
love that scene. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite
That
scenes.
was-
When she just drops down from the sky with the music playing.
All of a sudden, she starts putting force into it. He's like, oh! As soon as she puts force into it, he's like, oh my!
He's like, let's go.
He's like, oh, she's
I
done
fucking
it.
love that scene. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just testing her to see if she actually is the Black Panther.
Mhm.
Now I love that.
All of a sudden, he felt that grip. He's like, oh.
the Black
He's
Panther
like, oh,
is.
fuck.
That's a fucking another great scene, too.
Yeah. Xander, if you want to go into your
M'Baku got some
quotes.
pretty good quotes.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of
Mhm.
his quotes is "The world has taken too much from you to consider you a child anymore." Like that was one of his to Shuri.
I
That
was
was
just
one of my
thinking of that one.
quotes from M'Baku. That
That
one,
one,
that's a good
that
quote.
one,
and what else? I know he has some other tough quotes. Well, like you guys are saying, like we got to kill Namor, there'll be an eternal war without rest. Like that also. Like M'Baku has some tough quotes, but
spent
Ramonda,
this
one of
whole
her
movie,
quotes when
bro.
she was talking about. Like I love how like he kind of takes on like a brother figure to Shuri towards the end of the movie, which I do appreciate.
Mhm.
Because like she literally has lost everyone. Like Shuri said, another quote is like, I just buried the last person like that was closest to me.
Truly
My
knew-
heart was
truly
buried
knew
with
me.
her. Yeah, like my heart was buried with her. That one was like, there's so many just powerful
one,
quotes in the movie. Like Ramonda when she says, "I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the world," like, and my entire family is gone. I have not given everything. Like all these quotes is what make this
That's a
MCU
fucking
movie
really
like.
good one.
Like all these like quotes just makes this movie why it's like one of the best MCU movies for me. Like all these other movies just fucking I just feel like it's the same formula, cookie cutter, like joke here and there, like generic shit. Like, but this movie really takes it to another level with the fucking dialogue.
Yeah, I mean,
This movie also
I
doesn't make you feel
I-
good.
I-
either.
Yeah,
Like you feel
Mhm.
kind of bad in this
I almost
entire
want-
movie, but it's meant to be.
mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, like, well, what I was gonna say is that it almost is reminiscent to me of like early Phase 4 when they actually kind of had an idea of what they're doing. Where like where all these shows and shit was about like grief and stuff. Where you had like WandaVision,
Yeah.
you had trauma from like Falcon and the Winter
Right.
Soldier, Loki. I mean, Loki was a little bit kind of where it jumped out a little bit. But like when you had those shows that actually had some sort of like message behind
Yeah,
them.
Loki was about
like,
self-love. I'll just toss that in.
Yeah, that's true.
That was
Yeah,
about
yeah.
accepting
You're
yourself,
right.
yeah.
You're right. Mm-hmm. True. So like they all at least had like some sort of like overarching like emotion or like some
emotional
sort of
message,
trait
sis.
at play. But then like the farther you go, the more we kind of, for the most part, we stray from it. But like I feel like this movie fits actually very nice in with the beginning part of Phase 4.
Yeah.
Like they all like in terms of just like all the different like emotions and stuff that are being processed in. I'm not kidding. Okay, emotions and stuff that are being processed like in those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
those are some of my
I can
favorite
agree with
quotes.
that.
Shit's tough.
Yeah, but DL, if you have a few you wanted to add before I go.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course the mandatory Killmonger quote: "You're gonna be noble like your brother,
Oh,
or you're
yeah.
gonna take care of business like me."
I forgot about that one. Was cold. That was cold. And she was
Yeah.
thinking about that right before she was about to kill him.
Yeah.
That was cold.
And then I love how like that shit happened like 20 minutes before we see it again, just in case we forgot that cold ass line wasn't
They
said.
had to tell us that
Like
back
she,
and
she,
shit.
yeah, it's like it literally happened 20 minutes ago. Then like when Namor stabs her with the fucking thing, all of a sudden we see it again. It's like, all right, you guys are sucking it now. You guys know that shit's
they
hard
knew
as
that.
fuck.
Yeah,
They
it's
knew
a
it.
hard ass
Like
quote.
Michael B. Jordan came back just to spit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another one I have is when they're talking about I'll go back to that one because I fucking gotta explain that shit. The dialogue with Shuri and Namor when they're just talking about like negotiating or whatever you'd call it. When he's like, Namor's like, there isn't a nation that wouldn't plunder Wakanda if given the chance. That shit was tough.
That's true.
And then another one when he's like saying it to her, like if when they're kind of when he's like the scientists will die and Wakanda will be the first nation to fall. Like that entire like whole dialogue between them, I really can't pick out like those are my favorite quotes, but like that entire dialogue, just listen to that shit. That shit goes so hard.
Yeah.
Just it's just great the chemistry between the two of them. Like how like Namor actually wanted her to like fucking. I mean, obviously he wanted to destroy the world, so that's pretty evil. But like the fact that like he wanted Wakanda's help was definitely adds more interest to his character instead of him just being like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna destroy everyone," because they really could destroy Wakanda if they wanted to. Like they are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, just flood the place.
Easily.
Like with all the technology,
and then
nothing's stopping nature. Like just flooding the place.
And whatever that singing shit is, that singing
I forgot
that was
about that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was horrifying, low key.
I will touch on one of my favorite scenes. I'll go back to this part is like when that opening scene with the Navy or the SEALs or whatever, and they're all being hypnotized to jump off the ship. That was like haunting. Like they look like some phantoms coming out of the water and shit with that music in the back. That was a tough ass scene.
And then like the minute he shot a gun, he like got killed immediately. Like they weren't playing around. Like as soon as he shot that gun off, he was getting tossed with a fucking spear immediately.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around.
But DL, did you have?
But I mean, that's for the most part. The only other one I was gonna say is when it's like when they're after Shuri escapes, and it's like, what's to stop them from like they've seen our home, like what's stopping them from coming back? And he's just like, I will, and they have that tough ass like backup shot of him, like the pan out of him, him holding his spear. That shit goes stupid hard.
Yeah, the cinematography in this movie was great too. Like all those shots.
Absolutely.
You guys pretty much mentioned all the other ones I had, but there was one that you guys forgot, which is the callback to Civil War when Shuri says, "Vengeance has consumed us. We shouldn't let it consume them too."
I did like that.
But
it was a slight deviation.
Yeah,
because she had to change it because I'm assuming that T'Challa told her what happened. Like I didn't kill the man who killed our father, and he probably told her what he said. And she remembered that because obviously it's a reason why the man is dead.
Yeah,
so she probably said it that way because it has to do about her and his people. She's not going to say it word for word because it doesn't fit that situation. She had to change it.
Exactly.
That's true, but it's still nice that like it's still the it's still the quote. Like just because it's the context isn't identical. I agree. It's still nice that they still have that callback.
Nice touch.
Yeah, I appreciated that. When as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's what he says to Zemo. That's pretty much it for quotes.
That's all I got.
Quotes all tough.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, next we have Yaites, which
definitely the most quote heavy movie we've done in a while. That's for sure.
That's true.
Like, it's just like
we haven't.
It's like every scene. I feel like.
So we haven't talked about Riri at all. She's kind of useless. like
like
she's
Riri.
kind of useless. I was like, we're talking about this whole movie. We haven't said a single lick about her. I feel like that's how you know she's not a well developed character.
She's got a
I was
dump
gonna
truck.
toss that
Yeah,
in
I
there.
mean, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that soon, Chuck. But I'm more interested. I gotta say, like this movie has me feeling like I do want to see more of her character, but it didn't do anything
like that.
to like develop her in this movie.
Yeah, to get me
She's not a
excited.
well developed character. She got a dump truck though.
That is true. Don't get me excited though.
I mean, because the problem is, I meant to talk about it in the break scenes. Like, why are you giving him such a similar situation where she flies too high to the sky and like pulls out at the last second, exactly like what Iron Man did? Like,
Too on the nose.
come on.
Way too.
Yeah,
on the
it's like,
nose.
come on.
Like, we
It's
saw
like-
that before. Come on.
Like, if there's anything that's plaguing Phase 4 or plagued Phase 4 more than anything, it's them trying to literally carbon copy characters in a different person. But when you should just make a new character is the best. There's just like her being in a metal suit doesn't make her Iron Man, but the way that it moves, the way that it looks, the way that it functions, it's Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like just because someone's in a metal suit doesn't mean they're Iron Man. But when you make it a carbon copy, it's like, all right, we've already seen this before.
It's like we still have War Machine too. He's basically Iron Man, but with like not
Yeah,
as much
exactly.
Tech, you know, it's like why do we?
It's
need
like, yeah,
to
like,
re-rate
it's
it?
cool.
Got a metal suit.
Yeah, don't get me started on
No,
those
don't get me. Yeah,
hideous
that
ass
shit
fucking
got me
costumes.
tight. But with
I feel like that was the whole point. Like,
comics,
they were making fun of that costume.
Yeah, but like it just didn't need the helmet. I just can't stand the helmets because then you have that hideous, awkward interaction
Mm-hmm.
where like they're fighting and then she pulls down her mask, says something, that puts her mask back up. It's like it just looks so
Like
awful.
Power Rangers and
So-
shit.
Yeah, no, oh my god, no, fucking what's her name? Ironheart was
Bro,
a fucking
I
Power
had
Ranger.
that her last
exact
time-
thought
God.
too, Xander.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Power Rangers.
It was so hideous. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, bro! It's fucking Space Patrol Delta."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh my god, no!"
Like, that was not
It's
looking
like,
nice.
It's not
For me,
Space Patrol Delta.
I'm not. I hated this Ironheart design, but just with the set leaks alone, like her suit is going to be severely different from what any
Yeah.
of the Iron Man suits look like. But this Wakandan hybrid suit was awful. Absolutely, like it didn't need to look the way it did. The CGI for it wasn't great. It's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't
Yeah.
a big fan of her. Like you guys said, she looks like a fucking Power Ranger. And then going on to
Like,
fucking Okoye and those other suits, those got me so tight. Because like that was literally just them giving Iron Man suits to whoever the fuck they wanted.
It was just unnecessary. Like Okoye doesn't need a suit.
No.
Yeah, I mean, at least like I said, just don't put a helmet on it. Like I just hate that awkward ass interaction where she takes her helmet down.
You didn't need the helmet.
It's like, yeah, it's like the rest of the costume. It was alright. I mean, like the Dora Milaje already have fucking dope ass costumes. Why be
That's
changing?
what I said. They don't
Well,
need.
she's not a
they don't
Dora
even need a
Milaje
costume.
anymore.
Like just.
I mean, Shuri's the fucking queen. She can snap her fingers and have that shit fucking come back.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't want.
Sound
she
like
doesn't want
Shuri
to.
ain't the queen of.
No, that's the Shuri ain't the queen. M'Baku's the king. Shuri's just gone. She's just a Black Panther. But they already said
Says who?
says him going for the throne at the end of the movie.
Well, we're talking about
See,
before that. As soon as like the queen
Yeah.
Ramonda dies, like, all right, Shuri's
Yeah.
queen, a temporary.
Oh,
yeah.
No one else is gonna
Yeah,
take the spot
no,
until
but-
M'Baku took it at the end.
But the thing is that Okoye didn't want it back. She didn't want back in the Dora because she felt
Yeah.
what
She.
Ramonda said about
Right.
disgracing her and the country and everything like that.
Which is true. Them boys
Yeah.
violated Ramondo and fucking T'Challa was down bad on his knees, dying. they literally all gave that shit to Killmonger. Like, come on, have some respect.
Yeah.
Like, forget tradition. At this point, this man's an outsider, technically. Like, come on.
Mhm.
I had no respect.
Yeah,
They
that
even
was
like that
a lot of
character
bullcrap.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They're cowards.
Dummy soft.
That's true.
But I guess we can just jump into the yachts if we don't have any more quotes then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got a few. I mean, I don't know if I guess we can just do Xander and Chad again, and then we can just do like you and me, Hag. It's like you can go third. I'll go fourth.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say.
You got anything, Chad? Oh, or hi, Xander. Whoever.
I was gonna say.
So-
Yeah. It's just Val being in that movie. Yeah. Like we don't
Okay.
need you.
Yeah.
Another
I agree.
EI is just Riri just recreating Iron Man's first flight 1-to-1, basically.
Yeah.
Like, like sure.
It's like it'd be one thing if you like she was related to him or something, but like she isn't. So like that's like I'm not saying you can't do 1-for-1 on something like, and it's not cool. Like it's the fact that there's no relation. So like why are we making such a parallel?
Like, what are the odds
I don't
she
know.
goes? Like, what are the odds she goes so high in the sky that her shit freezes? She
Yeah.
passes out, and then at the last second, she comes back just
Yeah,
like
the
like, come on.
last
Like,
second.
at least make it different. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
They
do
need to
something
give her
else
her
with
own
it.
identity. If they want her to be her own character, they need to make it different.
Yeah.
Yeah, she feels different from Tony Stark. It's not like she's like some
Yeah.
wisecracking, like, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying suit wise.
Yeah.
Like obviously
This is
personality wise, completely
display
different
of it.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To display how they're doing is like, all right, we don't need to recreate Iron Man 1 here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it for I don't have too many complaints that were just out of pocket.
Yeah.
Chet.
Chet, what you got?
I can't really think of anything for EIs. I think nothing in this movie seems like, I don't know, a moment, I guess.
I got
like,
another
you're dealing
one.
with vibranium, a made-up material. You're dealing with fucking sea people, so it's kind of hard to like associate
really
to, like,
nitpick
reality.
when you're yeah.
I mean, I can think of one glaring one of just how the fuck
I got a
did
few.
we build a vibranium tracker without vibranium?
She's tracking
Like,
the
she didn't
frequency,
have-
but how would you know this frequency of vibranium?
The
without
frequency of
having
vibranium if there's no way of getting vibranium.
Yeah, like,
That's
it
what I
doesn't
mean.
make sense. It's not like that type of shit's just online to find, you know. Unless, well, actually, if you think about it this way, like, most metals and substances, like, everything, scientifically, everything, the information you need about it is out there, you know. So, you know, so you probably just plug that shit in from, like, the periodic table. You don't really need the metal to
But
know the information about it.
But vibranium... So the only thing of vibranium that the United States had was Cap's shield that they lost before even any of like this was like readily available like that, or the frequency shit. They didn't know
but the
about
periodic
frequency.
table was around back then. I feel like
but they didn't know
Anthony
the
Stark would have,
frequency
like, tested it.
What I'm saying is they didn't know the frequency of vibranium.
You guys are overanalyzing.
Yeah,
it.
I know it's overanalyzing this shit. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like there's some way they could have, like, explained that shit.
I mean, they did in
Wasn't
WandaVision
she
when they
like-
talked about the half-life decay of
She was,
Vision
like,
when
in
they were tracking
a
the
Wakandan
vibranium.
Yeah, they had
program
Vision's
at school,
whole body.
I think.
Yeah,
Wait, Hag,
they
they
were
had
tracking
Vision's
Vision.
whole body in WandaVision.
They were tracking the Vision through his half-life decay
again,
of the vibranium.
That's the government who had that. But I'm just saying, I don't think that a vibranium like that should be readily available online like that for her to be able to track vibranium without having a physical thing of vibranium to be able to track.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of just the trope of being like the prodigy, though.
Mhm.
Like this girl apparently made her first machine at 3. Like, that shit's played out. No more of this people doing stuff at like 3 years old. Like, bro, you ain't even conscious at 3 years old.
Hag, we're talking about this, but Tony Stark made fucking time travel in his fucking living room. like we're talking about vibranium frequency, but we're in the same
y'all doing the
universe.
most.
This man made a time travel.
Fair, all right, fair.
Like, I don't really
the Mobius strip.
I really don't have to think about it that much. This man just sat down after fucking chatting with Captain. Like, let me try it one more time. And that shit just automatically worked. So I'm like, that's not too big of a fucking MacGuffin.
He also just makes
I'm
a
not
whole
really
new
mad at
element
it.
like Iron Man 2. Does he just create a new element?
Yeah,
that's
all
also
cooking up a whole new element. Like, all right, whatever.
That shit's OD.
That would have been my EI for Iron Man 2. I'm cooking up a whole new fucking element in the lab.
Sure. Yeah, that's OD.
Like, sure.
That's OD.
That was OD.
I remember that episode.
Literally in his fucking penthouse.
Yeah.
Literally in his penthouse, not even a lab. I'm like, come on.
He made like a particle accelerator, I think, in his fucking thing. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. All right. Do you have any more Yai tag?
No, that was it.
Okay. So the one Yai, this isn't even a Yai. This is just me being nitpicky. Absolutely no blood when people are getting stabbed. Fuck that.
Oh, in the water?
Yeah, I'm tired of that shit.
Right. takes me. Shuri gets stabbed, literally
Kinda
takes herself
actually,
off the blade, and nothing. It's like, bro, I'm not saying someone's got to bleed like fucking 20 gallons of blood. Just give us some. Just give us red colored objects.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't
it
get
doesn't
it.
got to be dripping off. It don't got to be fucking guzzling out. Just give us something, because like it just feels so childish. It's like I said, it don't got to be TVMA type shit. People are fucking literally spit like gallons of blood shooting at them. But like people are getting stabbed, they're pulling their blades out, and the blade is like fucking
It's clean.
flawless.
Yeah, it's
Getting
not a
stabbed
speck.
Yeah,
in the water. People were getting stabbed in the water, and the water.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
blood.
Yeah, and like that's
Wakanda
just me
don't
being
bleed.
nitpicky. But I mean, it's like, come on, man. That's just
Wakanda
that's
don't
too
bleed.
much.
I feel
Whatever.
like in I was gonna say in Doctor Strange they tried pushing that a little bit with like that giant eyeball monster, the blood coming out of that, or fucking Wanda stepping on someone's head and they just turn into a skull and ashes. Like I don't know why they can do that, but they can't show blood. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
She literally blows up
I don't
Black
know.
Bolt's
Must be the-
skull, but like
And you see
Yeah.
blood
Blood
coming
in
out of his
water.
eyes, so I just snapped Professor X's neck. Like I don't get like we can't have a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's
That was
soft.
PG.
where are the limits at?
That might. Just, I guess that's just kind of like the expectation when you invite Sam Raimi in.
Yeah,
Would be
he's
my
doing whatever he
assumption.
wants. Yeah, he's too much of an OG
Yeah.
for you to tell him, nah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I have just skimmed through it real quick, Riri holding her own in that final battle. Like I feel like
Yeah, never fought before.
yeah, it's like Spider-Man in fucking Civil War, where it's like you could very very easily tell this man is a novice at fighting. Obviously, he's got some natural skills.
He is.
So does Riri. So
yeah,
it's like,
Well, he has super
yeah.
reflexes. She has like
Yeah, exactly. So like
she's just
that,
smart.
that's a
which
little
I guess
different.
You can give her
Yeah.
that. If you're super smart, I mean, you can apply that to
Yeah,
situations
but-
in real life.
But like I like, there's nothing that's more annoying is when a character's literally just like perfect from the get go. Like she's already got these tricks mastered of just passing out and fucking regaining
Yeah.
consciousness right before she hits the water.
Like Ray.
She's got all this
It's
crazy
like some
stuff.
Ray shit.
Literally, yeah, but whatever. I think I had one more. Oh yeah, whoever was on the outside of that ship when they were leaving Talokan, like they were just sitting on the outside of the ship, you know, with no suit on, just eating up all that pressure.
Mhm.
That was funny. that was ridiculous. It's like, bro, just because you're holding on to a ship doesn't mean you don't get crushed by like they're 160 meters down or whatever they said, bro. But whatever. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's it. That's really all I got.
Yeah, there wasn't too much else besides that.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when you have, at first I was going to question like, would the vibranium actually cut itself if you're like fighting it, like when you like Namor's using? But he has,
Yeah.
but they even said that he has like the raw vibranium. So of course his spear is just going to be dealing on literally everything.
But vibranium also, yes, hurts vibranium, which is why like Black Panther's claws leave scratches in Cap's shield and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's all I got for Yates. Like
Yeah.
overall, not too bad.
Yeah,
It's the same thing as most Marvel movies. Like we're already in such a fucking suspension of disbelief that like I'm not just turning it on for like stupid shit.
Yeah,
like
as soon
that,
as they
usually.
introduced Guardians, it was out of there. Like we're just doing some wacky
Cut the
shit.
crap.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
All right. Cut the crap. Cut the crap.
Oh.
We all know what time it is. It's time for the
Needed
thirsty moment
that.
of the fucking movie.
I needed that the last 40 minutes of that movie or whatever it was when they're on that ship. God bless Ryan Coogler. Needed that suit off him on the Kia.
Need that.
Ooh.
That green suit that she has.
Oh.
Dress she had on too.
Fuck.
Ryan Coogler.
Needed that.
You're a bad man. Whoever's in wardrobe, makeup team, give yourself a hand of fucking standing ovation. I'm giving you one right now. Give yourself a hand of applause. Way to play.
Bro, all I'm saying is
They go to
He
Again,
did
go
that.
to
the
play.
MCU was very top heavy, but the ass men finally got
Mhm.
something to eat.
Oh, it's bottom heavy today, baby. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
We got
Let's go.
We got both
Riri.
Riri and Nakia.
MCU dummy top heavy. Needed some of
Needed
that.
this.
Yeah.
Needed this.
Need that fresh blood. Been
Oh,
needing that.
Bro, T'Challa was eating good.
Need that off Cassie Lang.
Oh,
Need that off Cassie Lang.
The tummy!
Cassie
The tummy!
Need that. Oh, need that. Need that. I am fucking exponentially leaning back into my chair right now.
Definitely gonna see how
I'll-
that's
I'll
looking
let
in
you,
Ant-Man
bro.
and the Wasp. Definitely gonna need to see how that's looking.
That's true.
That's facts.
Need Ant-Man and the Wasp off Ant-Man and the Wasp. But
I gotta see how the
yeah, so the
costume's
thirsty
looking.
moment,
I heard she got a costume.
the thirsty moment of the movie goes
This
to
moment for me is Nakia.
Nakia. Yeah, Nakia.
Nakia, honorable mention Riri, but Nakia is baby girl in this film.
Nakia.
Goat shit. That's some goat shit right there. That's some goat shit.
Yeah, that's on the set, cub. That's on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
We need that.
Yay.
Lean back.
All right.
All right.
No more of a fucking 4 men thirsting over 1 woman. No more
Lean
of
back.
this.
Lean back.
It's time to
We
hop
all
into the question of the week.
You already added to the story.
No. Oh,
And I already added to the story.
get up there.
So many to tap
Hold
through.
up.
Hold on.
Did we do the favorite suit?
Hold on.
No, we didn't.
No,
I
we
was
did
just
not.
I thought about that, but then we just kept trucking along. As we're trying to find this, if you guys had a suit that besides the one we just said of Nakia's.
Let's say Shuri's Black Panther suit tough. The golden gold
Yeah,
on that
Shuri's
shit.
Black
I
Panther
like
suit
I
is
like
my
how it's like a
favorite.
little hint of Killmonger in there. Shit tough.
But then
My
Okoye's
daddy
Power
had Black
Rangers is
Panther claws
my
in his
least favorite.
chest.
All right.
Which one
I
was your
pulled up
least
the
favorite?
question. I got it set up.
Okoye's Power Ranger suit.
Oh yeah, shit trash. I was gonna say Riri's suit is my least favorite. Shit trash.
All right. Enough of that. This week, on the question of the week, we asked you guys, at the Staincast, of course, make sure you go following us on Instagram if you're not. We asked you
Do
guys
it.
your favorite video game of all time. We got a couple of responses, and then, of course, we'll have all of us go. But we have Mr. J Moist. Need you on here. It's been a minute. He said The Last of Us. Mr.
Yeah.
CMO Ho. He said Mario Kart Wii. What the fuck did Quill say?
Mid card.
What the hell?
I was gonna
Probably,
Is that
probably
Mass
Mass Effect 3.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's Mass
What
Effect.
was it looking like?
It's got an N7. It's got the N7.
The N7.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's Mass Effect.
On her fucking goggles. Shit. On her
Mr.
fucking boobies.
Yeah. Mr. William Banks said Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the original Xbox. That's a
Yes, yes, a man of culture.
Goated,
Yes.
That shit tough.
goated.
Classic.
And then
Classic.
Mr. Mumbarilla said Super Mario Galaxy, which I also can't really deny. That game is goated.
None of this Nintendo shit.
I would say Nintendo sales.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Man, none of that. None of that.
Best game ever. Call of Duty World at War on the Wii.
No.
No. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But I
That
guess
shit was hideous.
thank you guys for your responses. I'm going to go first,
Mhm.
if you guys don't mind.
You got it.
I just wonder what I'm going to... You guys can't see me because I turned it off, but everybody else watching this can see. I wonder, looking at my wall, what I'm going to pick. But my favorite video game of all time is Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah. I was going to say Shaka.
There's a shocker to anybody who ever has
Pokemon
fucking met
game?
me.
Black and White too.
Black and White 2
Black
is
and
my
White's
favorite
not
game.
at all.
Black and White 2 is so
That's when
tough.
Nintendo were
It's also
pumping
got
out some
Crocodile.
good quality Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't...
Crocodile.
Look, I can go on a rant, but it's got Crocodile, which is my favorite Pokemon.
I can't even see you right. I can't even see you right now, Hag. But you looking like Crocodile.
I am. Hold on. Let me put the shades on. Wonderful.
Crocodile.
Yeah, Crocodile. But yeah, I mean, but if I have to choose one that's not Pokemon, Spider-Man PS4.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
in
lot
my
of
top
fucking
3.
really good
Spider-Man
games.
PS4 in my top 3.
Yeah, if I had to choose one that's not Pokemon, it's Spider-Man PS4, and I need my PlayStation to be
has to
working
be.
by the time the sequel comes out.
Gotta go get that shit fixed.
Yeah, man. But Xander, you want to go next?
Say favorite game is probably. I was gonna say probably Witcher 3. Witcher 3 tough.
Damn it.
Okay.
You
The
bastard.
Wild Hunt. That game just has
Yeah, the Wild Hunt's
everything you
tough.
need. Like, you can put, like,
You got Triss.
oh, don't even get me started. Like, don't get me started. We could have a whole
Yennefer.
Christmas Nolan episode just for that game
Yeah.
alone. Like, Sari, Triss, Yennefer,
Oh my
even
god.
the side characters, bro. Like, come on now. Enough of that.
Sorella.
But, yeah. Enough of that, but I definitely say Witcher 3. Because I can go on a rant about them. You can choose it. Like, you can literally, like, go on rants about which one you choose and, like, talk to the boys about which one you pick and shit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I'd say Witcher 3. Honorable mention Last of Us also. Honorable mention Pokemon Platinum.
Also calm.
Yeah.
Chet?
I can't really pick a definitive number one, but I'll give you three. Batman Arkham Knight, Skyrim, and
goated.
Yeah, I love the Arkham series is my favorite, and probably last for that. I've been liking Mass Effect a lot, specifically 2. I've been playing that a lot recently.
You can't go wrong with any of those, honestly.
I've heard they're good. I mean, you've been playing them in the living room, so I've been seeing a lot of it.
That's fair. Yeah, you got to get on that, Hag. They have the whole PlayStation. I think it was free last month for PlayStation Network. The whole
My PlayStation's mad working.
Mad working. That's tough.
You're soft.
I got that Legacy Edition you're talking about.
I did,
Xander. I got that shit for like $17. I got all 3 games.
Damn, that shit tough. Yeah, I bought both that shit. It came with
all the
posted, and
DLC.
that shit was good.
Damn.
I got to beat
Oh,
2 actually.
smokes,
I only
that's
got
OD.
like halfway through 2.
All right. So I guess I'll go for my favorite game. Overwatch 2.
That's a great one. That's honestly like game of the century.
It's game of the fucking decade.
Every night.
Both of you leave this call.
Nah, for real. For real. I'm gonna split it up into 2 because I play multiplayer games more, just because obviously it's got the more replayability of always rinse repeating. Fuck you. I'm gonna give it to Black Ops 3 because I played the fucking shit out of the game for multiplayer, just because it's fucking multiplayer and you can just keep jumping into matches. So I just inevitably play them more. But if I had to do a solo game, Witcher 3's in there 100%. Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 5. Those games are fucking masterpieces. Far Cry 5 is a sleeper,
I forgot about
bro.
Far Cry 3.
Joseph Seed is a bad man in Far Cry 5. Bad man. That man is chatting.
Which one is Far Cry?
I've only ever
5?
played 3.
I only ever played 3.
It's the one where you're in
America.
It's a cult.
In America.
Yeah, Far Cry 5. Yeah. It's just a cult. Like you're just in a cult of a bunch of religious extremists.
I played the third one. And I think I played the fourth
But I mean,
one. You're in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Is that's not Primal? Is it? That's the one after 5.
No, that's when you're a caveman.
Oh, yep.
You
When
can
you're in like
finish the
the
game
Himalayas
if you just
or
sit in
something.
like that like dining room for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely other ones I'm missing. But I mean, when it comes to single player games, there's so many amazing ones where it just comes down to like the last one I played or like the one that I really like, the one I probably played when I was younger. Because nostalgia for single player games is just something else.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
That's
you
Skyrim
just
for
dig
me.
so many hours into it as a kid. Yeah.
Skyrim for
embedded
sure.
in
I'd
your
have to toss in Skyrim.
Bro, that shit is so tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very cool concept. It's a damn shame that Treyarch's a fucking terrible developer.
Yeah, fucking Elder
That
Scrolls
shit has
6
some
coming
fucking
out
promise.
when I'm dead.
And we're not going to get that by the time we're fucking... Yeah.
Elder
We're
Scrolls
gonna
6
be
is not
alive.
in my lifetime.
Yeah,
Maybe my
but
kids will get it.
for the most part, somewhere in that, all those titles I said, somewhere in that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys again for answering
all
the
I
question
got.
of the week. Stay tuned this Saturday for the next one. I don't even know what we're covering next week, but we'll go over that later. But I guess then, what the fuck is the next topic? We don't do that one in this group. I guess it's just talking about what we think of the movie, and then we'll go into the phase.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. All right, so just final thoughts, just basis. I mean, this movie's really good. Definitely watch it. It's great. For me, I have it at an 8.7, which puts it pretty much even with the first Doctor Strange and WandaVision.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, it's still great. It's one of the best things to come out of Phase 4, and it's definitely like just looking at my list. It's definitely under everything that I have above it. But it's definitely rewatchable, and it's one of the few things in Phase 4 that I could see myself rewatching a decent amount in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Jesus, DL.
Yeah. My dick.
Fuck you.
Okay. Alright, so I'll go next. I give it a 85. I was on somewhere in between 84 85, but I just said fuck it. I wanted to make it equal with Winter Soldier. I think both those movies kind of hit the same spot for me. They're completely different things going on, but it was either that or it was gonna be 84. It was gonna be a Far From Home, and I can't put those movies together. Black Panther definitely got the edge. So enough of my side rant aside. The one thing I will put an asterisk on is that this is a score for me watching it in two separate parts. I watched like an hour and 15 minutes last night, and I watched like an hour and 30 something minutes today, just because I was time constrained. But realistically, I enjoyed the movie more because of that. I can tell you that for a fact, because the first time I watched the movie, I was definitely a little bit more on the snooze side towards like that middle of the middle half. It was like it definitely gets a little slow, and like I forgot who said, I think it was Hag or Xander, who said when you're seeing Talocon, it's great. Look, it looks good, but it definitely does slow down a little bit. But
I was saying that
85 is still very respectable, and like we said before too. Again, a little bit shorter, and this movie could very easily be high 80s.
Yeah,
like 87. I mean, like 89.
Yeah, if they cut some shit, I would have gave it a 9 out of 10. Yeah. But as it is now, I'm just gonna go to mine. As it is now, I give it 8.5 also. Just because it could have cut some shit, need Ross. Yeah, that's about it. Like the story itself was fine. Like maybe even within some of that dialogue, within some of the characters, they could have cut a little bit to just make it easier to watch and watch again. But other than that, like they did what they did with the story.
Yeah, like our other ranking system I would have been able to like explain it more, because like I feel like the story is only like a 2 or a 3 for me, but the acting and performances is like a 4 out of like 20. Like the acting is perfect, but the story is like it's not by any means trash, but like it's definitely not as inspiring as the performances that the actors are putting on.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Understandable. Chet?
I'm gonna give this an 8.6. I think that's pretty solid.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
we all have it around the same spot.
It's just the length. The acting's great. The visuals were good.
How's that length treating you, Chet? Is it too long?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we all have it around the same spot, so that pretty much tells you like this movie is definitely an upper tier of the MCU. It's definitely one that if someone
especially for Phase 4, oh my god.
Yeah. If someone says to me like what's like the top couple movies I should watch to get the gist of like the MCU, honestly, this is one of the ones I would put on for them. Like this is one of the ones on that list.
Yeah, like even to expand on a little more, if someone's like trying to get back into Marvel, or if they're just trying to get into Marvel to begin with, and they want some like new stuff to watch, this is definitely like top 3 that I'd recommend to them. Because I mean, anyone who's getting into Marvel now for whatever reason is like it's a minefield, and I could definitely understand the people who are on the side of this shit's ass, but I mean, like in terms of like the most recent stuff, definitely like it's definitely in that conversation. Spider-Man, Black Panther, the first couple TV shows. Yeah, exactly. The first couple, like the first half of the phase is excellent, but like that's a couple of years ago now. So like if someone wants something recent, definitely this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess then with that, it is. And speaking of Phase 4, it is time to go into the Phase 4 awards. We do this at the end of every phase. It's been quite a while since we've had to do it, since our Endgame episode, actually. But pretty much me and DL came up with a couple of categories that we wanted to give as awards to each of, or to random projects in the phase. Just a basic way, just give our thoughts of how we think it did as a whole. So I did send this also to Xander and Chet, so they have them as well. I wrote mine down, so I'm going to be looking at that. But I guess so. The first one for the end of the phase, which I think is going to be a no-brainer across the board, is the best movie. And for me, I have No Way Home. I don't know about any of you.
Same,
Agree.
literally same.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
no debating that.
I mean, I think it's literally my favorite MCU movie still. It's in, I'm pretty sure, all of your top threes at the very least.
It literally, it is. It's my number one. It is the best MCU
Yeah.
movie in Phase 4.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, just everything
a
behind the
certified hood
story, the
classic.
nostalgia, like the
Yeah.
story, the
I
nostalgia,
agree
the
with all that.
villains. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So then that cleans that up nice and quickly, so we can move on to the best series. We did also list season, so like if any of these get second seasons, we will be putting that under this category. But this was the first season and of each of these shows, so it's just a favorite series that came out. And for me, I have Loki. I think that one was pretty self-explanatory as well. It's one of my favorite MCU projects. The story, the everything it sets up for the future, the acting, phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. I'm Loki as well. For all the reasons you said, I think there's just so much more going on in that show than like, especially more like obviously it's easy to pick on the stuff recently, but even with the like the heavy hitters that we got at the beginning of the phase, like Loki really was a good switch up. Like we had a lot of the Earth, like grounded stuff. Nothing wrong with that Earth stuff, but then all of a sudden we're in Loki and we're all over the place. It's just really pushing the envelope on where we're going next. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Chet, you have something different.
I got WandaVision.
But you got
Ooh.
okay.
I'm
No, that's
going
Ralph
respectable.
Boner.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I could absolutely respect that.
I have WandaVision
Ralph
for another
Boner.
one on the awards, though.
I do as
Yeah,
well.
that one has the most rewatchability to me.
hmm
I
No, I
always
love
find
it. Like I
myself wanting
think
to tap into that.
because what else, the edge I'll give WandaVision over Loki is the dynamics where Loki and Sylvie compared to Vision and Wanda, it's just not comparable.
True.
Even
It is
Mobius and Loki is good,
Mhm.
but even so, Wanda and Vision is just something
They
else.
just got
They've
a
had
nice
years to
chemistry.
build it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I guess then going on to the next one we have is the best action scene. I think this is going to be very different for any of us, for all of us.
Ooh.
And for me, I gave it
Gods
to.
don't have to choose. We take.
Oh, okay. Which I can absolutely respect. I gave that. I have that in a different category. For me, I gave it to Bucky and Falcon versus John Walker at the episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Very good.
Yeah, that one, that's in the top 2 for me, Ellie. Top 2.
That's one of the best fight scenes in the MCU. Period. We mentioned that in the episode and everything.
Yeah, that one was nice.
Yeah.
Like that one was just
I
raw
agree.
action. Like I like that.
Yeah,
Like, they're
that's just raw emotions
just
too. It's like
tossing
just yeah, like just the fallout of the fight. Like them just during like there is no like coordinated attack. They're just fucking throwing fists at
Well,
each other until somebody doesn't get back up.
Mhm.
So that's what
Like
this
that
is
shit's
about.
crazy. Yeah, oh, yeah, John Walker, fucking not enough love is given to that man. He's so
I can't
fucking
wait
I
to
good.
feel
get
like
more
the
of that.
early
It's fucking-
episodes of that season, like that, I feel like it was good. The early episodes.
Such a meathead. I love it.
Yeah, but we'll talk about more of Falcon and the Winter Soldier later. But Chet or Xander, whichever one of you want to go first for best action scene.
Best action. Let me go in order because I'm trying to think. Like fucking Eternals really.
I mean, you don't have to overthink it.
Yeah.
There's so
just
many
whoever
great
comes to your
action
mind.
scenes. Like
Shang-Chi,
I just did
I was
got
gonna say maybe one from Shang-Chi just had some just good around. I'd say the bus scene in Shang-Chi that was really good, like the bus fight scene.
Okay.
But I'd just say
Yeah.
the apartment fight scene. If I had to choose between the apartment fight scene and just
okay.
the Shang-Chi bus fight scene, because the choreography for that fight scene, the Shang-Chi shit, that was
Yeah.
really good. Like no CGI needed for like Simu Liu to do all that shit and stuff. So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
It's all good. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, for some of these awards, it's really close. It's really a toss-up for me. So I kind of have, like, either I have honorable mentions or I have other stuff that I just didn't mention because, like, the MCU, like at some points in Phase 4, there is a lot of, like, you know, like, the best storytelling, best movie, most unique. So I'll kind of see where my things end up with you guys.
Chet, what was
I'll
your
see
best
where we
action
slide
scene?
to.
I'm gonna say probably the apartment fight scene in No Way Home when Goblin's just smacking
Yeah, I mean-
Spider-Man around.
He's just tossing him around.
It's understandable, yeah.
And an
While
honorable
chatting,
I'll
while
give-
chatting,
Yeah, while
too.
fucking
While
spitting.
Chad.
Killed his aunt.
He's got the lizard tag team in there for no reason.
You'll thank me later.
Goated. But I mean, I guess speaking of the Goblin, our next category is best villain, and mine goes to the
Yeah.
Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're talking about
Mine goes to
original MCU villains, then I'd probably give it to Wenwu. If we're talking about original MCU villains,
Wenwu.
because
Yeah.
the Goblin, like, he has so much.
Yeah,
built
but
up
just-
from the Sam Raimi universe.
But still, just villain in general for this phase, he is the best
Yeah.
one. He fucking
He is.
He who
his thing is just
stains.
to destroy Peter Parker, and he does.
Hands down,
The
the
ice
best
like,
villain
it's-
in
I-
Phase
bro.
4.
That's
Got
also
his ant,
true.
man. His hot ant. Give me
But
tight.
you were saying something different.
I would say I agree with all the ones you guys said, but I also have Kang, He Who Remains from Loki.
Oh, he
Just
remains.
because
Okay.
there's not many characters. Yeah, there's not many characters who can have a finale where they're just talking and still be just as enjoyable as a finale where you just have like a CGI dump. So I gotta respect that. I mean, not saying that Wenwu or Goblin or even Electro. Honestly, Electro was fucking
Yeah.
amazing. He was
Mhm.
really good. But I like they're all in that toss-up conversation, but definitely somewhere in there. There's a lot of very good performances, so that's good.
I was gonna say, I don't know
Yeah.
if I consider He Who Remains a villain. Like, for Sylvie, yeah, in her story he is, but like
Okay,
this man, if after killing him, if
True.
what he says is true, and all of this leads to Secret War and Kang Dynasty, what Sylvie did, that makes her the biggest villain in the MCU so far. I feel like he was like probably like
True.
the one keeping everything together, even though he went about it in a horrible way. It's either that or the outcome, the Conqueror, which
Yeah.
is way worse. So I
Yeah.
feel like it
I mean,
depends.
it definitely,
like,
it
you are
definitely
right,
is
he
a moral.
villain,
It's a moral
yeah.
question.
You are right. He is a villain to Loki and Sylvie's story, but like to the grand scheme of things, he was probably the only one keeping shit together.
Yeah. I mean, in
Also
terms of like
true.
balance in the universe, he's definitely like a hero.
Yeah.
But like in terms of people living in the universe, he's a
Yeah,
villain
for sure.
because you
Yeah.
know he's kind of keeping them under mind
Mhm,
control or
yeah.
whatever.
Absolutely. But then going on to best storyline, this one I gave to WandaVision. I think that's just the way of Wanda
Best
like
storyline,
going through
yeah.
her grief, and then we see her backstory and just everything. I feel like just ties everything together very well in the
Yeah.
format, especially it being the first Disney Plus show that ended up coming out.
I agree with you.
There's a
WandaVision
lot of good
for
storylines.
pretty much all the reasons. Yeah, no, definitely. Like this is definitely a tough one, but WandaVision was just the one that came to me right away where I was like, yeah, this is like this
No,
just the whole
exactly.
like them breaking up the episodes into like different eras of TV. Like it was just so creative that I couldn't pass it over for the best
Yeah,
storyline. Just
that
how
has to
creative
be
it was.
the peak of creativity in the MCU. Like really like doing all the different eras of sitcom and like pulling them off really well for each era. Like,
Yeah.
after that, I don't know. Like all the shows just kind of like weren't really trying. Like Loki, besides Loki, obviously.
Yeah. Like I definitely say that it could definitely fit into the category of most unique, which we're going to talk about next. But like even most unique and best story, like they both have so many options that I had to kind of just pick and choose and narrow down and kind of like place.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Chat, did you say your best storyline? Favorite storyline?
Well, I was just gonna say WandaVision too.
I actually
Yeah.
had a different one.
Yeah. What was
What
yours?
was
I
your
was gonna say No Way Home from like Peter Parker like just being like I won't say he was Spider Boy, but he actually becomes Spider-Man by the end of that movie. I just feel like the way
That's
they do it, it's just I just feel like it was perfect for him actually to become Spider-Man. Like that final swing, it really just it hits the impact
Yeah.
of what it means to be Spider-Man. Like sure he doesn't have anything, but that's not the point, you know. Like I just feel like it really
Nah, that's true.
captured like what it means to be Spider-Man by the end of that movie.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant, and I really do enjoy that fact how we're kind of ended on that sour note. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes us want to see more Spider-Man because like he's had a trilogy and there's so much that has been covered, but now
Oh,
it's like
more,
kind of hitting
yeah.
that reset switch. It's like
Yeah.
it's like now we need to see like what happened. Like we have
It's
to.
like yeah, they can't just stop there because I feel like we saw him all throughout high school, and I love that storyline. But
Yeah.
now he's actually free to do what Spider-Man's always doing, patrol
What-
New York City. You know, like
Mhm.
just that type
Being
of
the
shit. I'm
little
happy
guy.
like they actually like looking out for
Getting
the
his
little guy. You know,
GED.
doing street. Shria getting his GED and shit, like
Yeah.
going to college and shit. Like, I'm happy we're leaning on towards that stuff now.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess then going into most unique, DL, you literally just mentioned it. Mine is WandaVision. I mean, like you were saying before, them just going through all the different eras of TV and the sitcoms, and then just explaining the backstory, and it felt like such a different change of pace, and it handled the episodic format so well that I had no other questions for this category.
Yeah. For me, I mean, definitely WandaVision could easily win this award too. But just for me, I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I'm not saying it couldn't win the award, but I gave it to Eternals for the reason of it just kind of being... The movie itself, all right, it's meh. It's definitely nothing to write home about. I'm not saying it's great. But, I mean, I do enjoy how many characters... Like, the juggling act they did with all those characters was very well done, in my opinion. I think there was a lot... I mean, obviously the... what's her name? Athena. She was a little weird. Like, that whole, like, kind of... Like sick condition they gave her or whatever. But yeah, whatever. The rest of the characters I think were all very good. I enjoyed all of them. Like other stuff non-relating to them was a little iffy, but I think that was pretty unique. Like just the whole like their powers. That like Airsham was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like that was unique. Seeing him leave Earth is just kind of like it's like watching Thanos using all the Infinity Stones. So like you just can't even comprehend how fucking ridiculous this man is. That he's just pulling up, saying that I will return for judgment. Then he just like literally just makes a black hole and dips. It's like what the fuck, man.
Yeah, the Celestial stuff in that movie is like the most interesting part.
I definitely need. I need more. I need an Eternals too. Like now, I need more of the aspect of the MCU.
Yeah. And then another honorable mention, I just do Moon Knight just because of like the whole like basically like not Western centric, I guess you could say, like themes of the story, which makes it pretty unique for me. It's just cool, like they're in Egypt and stuff. And Oscar Isaac is fucking amazing. Same thing with Arthur Harrow, Ethan Hawke. But that ending is trash.
Top 3 worst Disney Plus endings. Top 3.
It's
That
just
was a bad
so. That shit's stinky.
That shit up there with Hawkeye's ending.
Yeah, but
Mid-eye.
Xander, you have your most unique.
Most unique. I was gonna say a toss between WandaVision and Loki, just for different reasons.
Okay.
Like we already established, like just the different eras of like the sitcom television type shit for WandaVision. Then Loki, I don't know. Loki just feels so much more different from all the MCU shit. I don't know what it is about this show. Maybe it's like the cinematography, the direction, like set design and everything. It just feels so much more different than all the MCU shit.
Yeah, the set design is just something
I think
else.
that's also another part about it is the set design too.
Yeah,
but other than that, that's my most unique. Everything else is the same MCU shit.
Alright,
What
so
you thinking, Chet?
for my most unique, I'm giving it to No Way Home just because you have 2 different Spider-Men, Andrew and Toby reprising their roles. Then you have all the villains coming back. And this big culmination, like a fucking love letter to Spider-Man. I think that shit was just fantastic.
Yeah, they couldn't have done it more better in a live action setting for like the multiverse for Spider-Man. I think they did it good.
Especially when you have a multiverse movie that came out and literally wasn't nearly as impactful or even interesting.
Doctor Strange mid.
I'm gonna have to also add an honorable mention for the best action scene of Hawkeye versus the Snow Cat.
Ooh, yeah, I would have to toss that in there. That has some real life repercussions for the MCU.
The Hawkeye actor.
Has some real life repercussions. So I would have to say, like the stakes were the highest they've ever been when that Snow Cat pulled up.
Come on, man. Come on.
King ain't got nothing on that Snow Cat. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the real conqueror.
So moving on. So moving on to the next category before this gets too out of hand. Most forgettable. Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Miss Marvel.
What are we talking
I'd be
about?
forgetting to
Everything
sign
like
his
movies
face
and
all the time.
Everything.
Like what are we talking about? Oh, I would say Black Widow.
The whole
I
thing.
can't forget about like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Because She-Hulk is just so bad. That's just something I can't forget about.
Exactly.
Miss Marvel is kind of forgettable, so I understand where you're coming from there. But
'Cause
Black
the
Widow
thing
for a
about Miss
movie, I
Marvel
always
is
forget that was in this phase.
It's more the characters that are forgettable than the story. The story actually isn't half bad. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the characters are just like tropey, cliche. I'm not really interested in it.
The reason I give Miss Marvel Black Widow more forgettable over Miss Marvel is like you were just saying, Xander. I always forget it's in this phase. It doesn't belong in this phase.
And she's an Avenger too. It's
with Miss Marvel, she at least introduces a character that's going to be integral to another movie in the future. With Black Widow's just dead.
Okay,
she's already dead.
Yeah.
So
we knew it was gonna happen. Like,
it's like we waited like 10 years to get a little less than 10 years to get like an actual story behind the whole what was the guy's name? Not Dracoff. Was it Dracoff?
It's so forgettable. You don't even know. You're talking about.
Exactly.
Jack
You're
off?
talking about that one scene they reference in
No, it's not Jack off.
It's Budapest.
Budapest. You're talking about that one scene
that's
Budapest. Like
but then we finally see it, but it's like, bro, she's already gone, man. She's already gone, dead. Like in this universe, she's dead. So it's like, yes, okay, cool. I'm glad the story's being told, but like,
we had no stakes.
Hawkeye's not even in
no
there.
Stakes.
Like the Budapest flashback.
Hawkeye.
There's no Hawkeye. Like I feel like if they're gonna do that whole Budapest scene, they always talk about it. Like at least have Hawkeye in the fucking scene. Like it's just so stupid.
The movie had no stakes or anything either.
Yeah.
We knew she was already gonna die in Endgame, and this took place before Endgame.
Yeah.
But
it was pointless, forgettable.
Chet Xander.
No, I'd say Black Widow.
Between like Black Widow, I'd give an honorable mention probably to Miss Marvel and Eternals.
Okay.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, Eternals is a weird one for me. I don't mind Eternals, but it's like I can definitely see where the hate's coming from. Like I can see why someone wouldn't enjoy it.
I'm not watching.
I'm in the same boat as you. I can understand that.
Where it's like I wouldn't peel my eyes out watching it, but like I probably wouldn't be like, all right, let's put on Eternals tonight compared to just about anything else you find on Disney Plus.
If you're having someone over, you're not putting on Eternals. You're gonna scare that person away. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Unless you're not trying to watch the movie.
I gotta prepare myself for this one.
That is true, Chet. That's one of those movies.
Golden call.
That's one of the movies you put on to not watch.
Spoken like it's fucking. It's just spoken like a true playmaker.
So
the natural scoring. All right. Next one.
The
worst movie.
Fucking Love and Thunder. Fucking Love and Thunder. I ranted about it in the
unanimous.
Bro, if any of you have watched the fucking Love and Thunder Staincast, you will know how much I fucking despise this movie.
Yeah.
It is literally the worst thing. It is worse than fucking. It is worse than Dark World. Like it is that fucking bad.
They literally let Taika do whatever the fuck you wanted with this shit. It's like they said, you did a good job with Ragnarok, so just do that again and don't change anything. And that's what he did. It just made it worse.
Ugh.
Awful.
Fuck that movie. We're moving on.
Yeah. Worst movie.
All right. So the worst series or season to come out, and I think this is probably going to be unanimous as well.
Another
She-Hulk.
unanimous She-Hulk. Yep.
She-Hulk.
Mid-Hulk. Not even Mid-Hulk, just Trash Hulk.
It's fucking awful. She-Hulk is the worst MCU project. It's got shit CGI, shit writing. The characters are whatever, but it doesn't make sense. It's just shit jokes, shit writing, shit it's just bad.
Good segue into our next fucking award.
Yeah, worst CGI going to She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Go to She-Hulk too. She can take another one of those.
Goes to She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk on a roll.
She's like a My player from 2K.
No reason
she looks so bad, so bad. Like it's not us being nitpicky. Like it's not us being fucking. It's like there's like video games from like the fucking late 2000s that look fucking better than that shit. 2008.
She looks fucking awful.
Yeah, she is straight soulless. Like
There's
it's
one
hideous.
clip I'm thinking of specifically when she's like walking in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Girl,
god.
yeah,
Oh
you know what
my
I'm
god.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Because the clothing is like because there's like a different shading that's on her clothing, that's on her skin, and then it's on her head. Like it's so
The clothes
weird.
look like it fit
And the
her,
fact
like,
that
her
it was
shoulders
put
look
out,
big.
No.
and
Yeah,
that had,
because the clothes don't look like
They don't
fabric.
fit her
They
either.
look like they just don't
Yeah.
look like clothes. Like it's
And-
so weird. There's
and
something.
this is just not us ragging on the VFX artists. Like we like full props to them for what they're given. This is us ragging at Marvel for putting them under this much fucking stress and shit. That this is what they have
They
to
just don't
like
have enough
put out.
time. Yeah, they just don't have.
Exactly.
That's not their fault.
That's it.
It's the suits at Marvel that want to
It's
push out a
Marvel's
movie every fucking 3 months.
Yeah, but I guess then just moving on to the worst villain, which this one probably isn't unanimous, but I
think
did
it
say we
might
talked
be.
about Falcon and Winter Soldier
Yeah.
earlier, and the Flag
Flag
Smashers
Smashers, yeah.
are the fucking worst villains of Phase 4. They mean nothing, they do nothing, and
Absolutely.
they're just written awfully.
I'd say She-Hulk's villain's pretty bad.
I mean,
I mean, she
yeah,
rewrites her ending, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
it's what's that
just
group?
means nothing.
What's that group?
Intelligentsia.
Yeah, that's the villain. That's the villain. And they're in it for like 2-3 episodes
They don't-
that mean anything.
They don't even mean anything. They don't mean anything because it
And
gets
at the end,
rewritten. Like
she
you
That's
just
why I
said.
would have to put
changes the
them.
ending.
That's what I have to put them as a villain. Yeah, because she does have to face them at the end. She has to face Todd or whatever his name is. So it is her antagonist, but it's just it means nothing.
Stop
So I
talking
would
about
have to
She-Hulk.
give it to them. Flag Smashers.
All right.
If we're actually talking about storyline, if it's like a show with an actual storyline, then Flag Smashers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Flag Smashers are fucking terrible. They ruin the entire like soul
Falcon
and
and Winter
essence of
Soldier
that show because it really is fucking really
Mhm.
good too. And then you have that disappointing fucking curtain pulling back. Sharon's the power broker. Oh my
That's
god,
pretty stupid.
Whoa!
Didn't expect that one.
It's like everything. Yeah, we off that.
OD.
Slow.
I guess, and then the last category, the last award that we're going to give out today, which this one was a little bit of a toss-up, but I'm pretty sure this might be unanimous in the end. The worst main character goes to She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Yet again.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
Yeah. There's nothing else I can say
So-
about that.
So I'm going to agree, but just to make it interesting, I'm going to throw Doctor Strange in there too.
Yeah.
I
Because
can
he's
respect
pretty
I'd say
fucking
Thor.
useless.
If we're gonna do that, I'm saying
As a main
Thor.
character,
I
yeah,
was thinking
because as like a
Thor,
main
too.
character,
Thor, yeah.
right? Like, yeah, because like it's not like I mean, like Thor's straight up a terrible character. But like Doctor Strange isn't necessarily a bad character. He's just a terrible main character in that movie. It's like that should have been Wanda's movie.
Yeah,
So.
at least
Even
Thor's
he
movie feels like
says-
his movie.
Yeah, but even Benedict Cumberbatch says in like some interview, he says it doesn't even feel like my own movie.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it's
Yeah,
not.
you're getting
It's 'cause it
bitched.
isn't.
Bitched the whole movie. It's not your movie.
I mean, he getting paid handsomely to fucking
Oh
bitch
yeah, he doesn't give
handsome. I
a,
think it'd
he
be
probably
fucking
doesn't give a
tight.
fuck, but I just know that he's
Yeah.
not a fan of Michael Walbart Burton, whatever, how the fuck you pronounce his name, his writing, because he has straight up said that numerous times in interviews.
They
Tough.
keep letting this man come back. Like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
he
know.
wrote
Someone
Loki.
stop him.
Well, so he wrote Loki, and then from watching the Doctor Strange making of, so he wrote Loki, and then they fired the original writer for Doctor Strange when Sam Raimi ended up coming on. He was only given 2 months to write it, and then COVID hit, so then he was able to change it from there. So he wasn't given much time to write Doctor Strange, which is why I'm giving him the excuse for that one. But he did write Loki, so that's fine. That he gets a pass for that one.
He got some help with Loki though. It wasn't just him. I
It
thought
wasn't just him, but he also had help with Doctor Strange.
one of the people. Is he the same guy that was like on the team of Rick and Morty or whatever? One of the creators.
No,
one of
no,
the
no,
creators
I
of
think-
that show helped with
I
Loki.
think-
Yeah. So it wasn't just him to give the props to Loki because fucking there's always like multiple.
No,
people.
but he wasn't, I don't think, given any help. I think that was all him in Doctor Strange, or like if he was given help, it was very little. Thankfully, he has more
Interesting
help.
side note.
What?
I was gonna say interesting side note, not to cut you off. We haven't even talked about what if. Interesting
Exactly.
side note.
I'm because
What if
it
mid?
is the big, like, what if it's just the biggest mid like baseline that it has nothing too bad, nothing too
Yeah,
good.
okay.
That's
It's
the only reason I never
literally the
nominated.
definition
it.
of mid. Like it's literally just
Yeah, like
mid.
Yeah, I was just curious if anyone had anything about it, or maybe they
I just
forgot about
forgot.
it. But,
Yeah,
I'm in agreement with you guys.
Because animation, I always just
I
look
just-
at these shits of live action.
Yeah,
I didn't put it towards it. The only category I really thought about what if 4 was most unique because it was animation
Yeah,
and
I
brought
should have
back
given
the
it to
but
that.
I didn't want to but like I didn't I don't know I felt like the animated shows for the MCU are very weird because it looks like they're all going to be Elseworld or multiverse stories. So it's very and like sometimes they're counted towards the phase and sometimes they're not when they're like listing them. So I
Mhm.
don't really know how I want to go about that. Like we're still cover them, obviously,
Okay.
but like it's a gray area.
It's like the Captain
Yeah.
Carter shit from What If they brought into live action. So some shit they're doing live action they'll bring in, but then like you said, it's a gray area with other
It's
stuff.
a different Captain Carter though.
Yeah, but it's like the idea though, it's still the same. Like they're using
I know what
different
you mean.
versions, but yeah, like some of those ideas they'll probably keep doing that, bring into the fucking MCU. But it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like we haven't heard anything else about like the animation side of the MCU in a minute.
Well, we just heard
Just go
about
down
we
with
get
that.
freshman
They
year,
canceled all that shit.
Marvel Zombies.
We keep hearing
X-Men
about that shit. Like
97.
we've heard about that shit last year, but
Armor Wars.
yeah,
Armor
like,
Wars
I feel like we
coming
keep hearing
soon.
about that
Well,
shit
Armor Wars
since,
got
like,
changed to a
2021.
movie, so that
movie now.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you. I
Yeah,
know.
I feel like we knew
I was
about
like,
this
Armor
freshman
Wars.
year.
I
All this shit's
understand
in
why we haven't heard
2021.
anything.
No, it was just weak for Armor Wars when the fucking director like posted something on his Instagram like, "Don't worry, guys, Armor Wars is still coming out."
And then like 3 months later, it's like
because it wasn't a part of their slate.
Yeah,
Because it
still
just
isn't
wasn't
part
on
of
the
their-
slate for 5 and 6. So everyone's like, "Where the fuck is it?" He's like, "Guys, don't worry, it's coming."
It's coming. Armor Wars. Need that
I
one.
think it's coming phase.
They can keep that.
I think it's the beginning of phase 6.
Need that.
Them boys can keep that.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for that. Thank you to both of our guests for joining us today. It's a
Got
pleasure
you.
to have you all as always.
It's always a pleasure.
As usual, if you're watching this
Thanks
on
for coming,
YouTube,
boys. Appreciate you.
as usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, hit that bell, do all the fun, fancy stuff below. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, don't forget to leave us a review. Go check out our Instagram at the Staincast, where we'll be posting this Saturday the question of the week and the teaser post for Zombieland, which we will be covering next week, next Thursday, 9 a.m. as usual. DL, did I forget anything? Merch link in bio.
Buy the merch. Yeah, buy the merch.
I'm not wearing underwear.